All the Aston Villa sides, and well, one of the names there that leaps out of that team sheet is the number 9, Delfiniso, who I think is the guy, it's their star man, the guy that they're resting a lot of hopes on for a bright future ahead. Let's just flick now on to the more important side to us tonight, that being the Arsenal side. As we know, it is Minoni back in goals, and in fact, Gavin Hoy, I was incorrect in saying that he's playing centre of the defence. He's playing right back tonight.
Playing right back tonight, but he has been playing centre of defence alongside Bartley, and they've been forming a quite good partnership. But tonight he's playing at right back, and we've got Jay Thompson coming in at centre back alongside Bartley. So it's a little bit of a change there, but it's going to be interesting for these guys. I mean, the Aston Villa team is young as well, so we're looking forward to this.
Certainly are. OK, kick-off is almost upon us. In fact, it maybe is. So let's cross quickly over to our commentary team.
Thank you, Ali. And just when the club needs a bit of a pick-me-up after Saturday, the youngsters on show tonight may just be able to provide it. 3 of the Gunners' starting 11 featured in the Carling Cup destruction of Sheffield United last week. There's one of them, Jack Wilshere, but arguably this will be a bigger test against last season's Reserve League South champions. Wilshere, of course, scored a fine goal last week. Neil Banfield has picked Jay Simpson and Rui Fonte to lead the line tonight. So a combination of pace, strength and craft to test Villa's back line. Tom Cruise comes into the defence, and tough tackling 16-year-old Emmanuel Frimpong into a midfield that includes both Mark Randall and Wilshere. Villa have included experienced players such as Zat Knight and Marlon Harewood so far this season, but tonight's team is comprised entirely of teenagers. Only 6 Englishmen in the starting 11 compared to Arsenal's 9. 17-year-old Nathan Delfonso is their most highly rated striker. Just about perfect conditions for football, and a big night tonight for Tom Cruise, the first reserves start of the 17-year-old's career. Aston Villa currently joint top of the Reserve League table with Chelsea. They've got maximum points from their 2 games. Paul Mellin from Surrey is the man in charge. Villa have beaten Stoke City and Tottenham Hotspur thus far. Arsenal, who opened with a defeat against Chelsea and came back, as you saw earlier, with that narrow victory away at Portsmouth. And it will be the Gunners to get us underway, attacking the goal away to our left in the first half. Stuart Robson's alongside me. Interesting to see how Jay Simpson and Rui Fonte in particular dovetail up front for the Gunners tonight.
Yeah, well, I think Rui Fonte will play just behind Jay Simpson. Jay Simpson will try and lead the line. He'll be the player that tries to get behind Aston Villa's defenders. He's a strong, powerful player. He's got a lot of experience, having played at Millwall last year. And Rui Fonte will be the player who'll play in the sort of Dennis Bergkamp type role. We'll throw. Oh, he's given it the other way. Paul Mellin. Gavin Hoy skipping the Arsenal team tonight. He started that League Cup tie against Sheffield United. Been a real progression for him. He was part of the first team training camp out in Austria pre-season. Well won by Frimpong. And he's beaten his man as well. That's an excellent start. Couldn't quite thread the pass through to Lansbury. Well, that should give him some confidence. Yeah, Rui Fonte just had to hold his run. He thought he was going to run offside, but Frimpong, good tackles, good vision, good powerful play from him. He was an unused substitute against the Blades last week. Frimpong just maybe easing him in gently to that kind of environment. As we heard from Chris earlier, it's a lot different playing in front of 56,000 at the Emirates than a couple of thousand here at Underhill. It's a decent crowd tonight. Here's Frimpong again. In for Lansbury. Villa have hardly touched the ball in the first couple of minutes. All the way back to Vito Minoni in goal tonight. Didn't play the first game, but he came back against Pompey. Wilshere. Asked a bit much there of Rui Fonte. Had a man on his back, taken on by Veyman, and well dispossessed by Jay Thomas.
obviously not quite sure yet, maybe, Stuart, of where Jay Thomas's best position is. They're giving him a go at the centre of defence tonight.
Yeah, well, he's got all the attributes to be a good centre-half. He's big, he reads danger quite well, he's got a decent bit of pace, and he can also play. So when he comes out with the ball, when you're playing against one striker, and it demands that one of your centre-halves is good on the ball, Jay Thomas can be that player.
Well, it fell kindly for Gardner. Just about got something on it, Thomas, and he needed to as well. Here's Albrighton, and Cruz has missed the tackle, and still Albrighton, and Villa have the game's first goal inside the first 3 minutes. No reason why it shouldn't have counted. He looked a bit mystified for a moment, and Arsenal there guilty of some lax defending, and Albrighton's made them pay for it.
He very nearly got the pass in there to the striker. Jay Thomas just got a foot a bit square, then was square on that challenge. Tom Cruise got the slide challenge in, but it fell for Albrighton, who actually finished it very well. I don't think Arsenal defended that at all well. Went in at Mannoni's near post, not much he could do. That was hit with power from a short distance.
So Arsenal playing catch-up, just about the first time that Villa had had any kind of possession, and that was basically given to them by Arsenal. Test of Tom Cruise's character now. I mentioned it was his first reserve start. How's he going to come back from that error? Liam Brady, the head of youth development at Arsenal, described him as being a real asset. And Liam's a pretty good judge of a player. Over the head of Clark, who misjudged that. Albrighton, the goal scorer. Hemmed in by Clark, he's knocked it long. Mannone couldn't wait for the ball to run into the area. Safety first.
Well, Jay Thomas has been tested already at centre-half. Had the ball that was tried to play down the side of him, which he just got a foot to. Then he was beaten in the 1v1 situation, and there the ball was played in behind him again. He had to chase after it.
Simpson's layoff, picked off by Steiber. Frimpong. Away by Bartley. That was Randall, trying to find the run of Lansbury. Frimpong again.
Good to hear that your wife has turned up in the crowd, Trevor.
Yeah, it's harder to make a lot of noise. Arsenal trying to get this goal back quickly. It's in towards Simpson. And a good intelligent run from the striker. Lansbury. Much better from Arsenal. Frimpong to shoot. Well, sign of a player with confidence, and he doesn't mind trying his luck from that range. He is only 16.
Oh, interesting shot. Hits it with power. I think it must have taken a deflection because it was curling. You see the ball curling there, back into the goalkeeper's arms. Good play from Arsenal. Lovely little run from Jay Thomas. Sorry, Jay Simpson.
This is Veyman for Villa, their Austrian striker. Out for Bannon. And Steiber, the Hungarian. Useful ball that. It was all on his own, Gardner. Well, Arsenal are going to get an offside decision, but it was slap marking.
Gardner made the run into the centre-forward position, just left Tom Cruise outnumbered at the far post. Albrighton just got himself offside, just a bit too anxious.
Gary Gardner, incidentally no relation to Craig Gardner, who's part of Villa's first team squad. Long from Mannone. No foul from Simpson. Well covered by Kyle Bartley. Good to see Bartley having a run in the side. He had a whole spate of injuries last season. Came down from Bolton Wanderers and just couldn't get fit. Little shove by Wilshere, spotted by the referee.
Wilshere hasn't been able to get into the game so far. Playing out on the left-hand side at the moment. Lansbury on the right-hand side.
When you've played in front of 55,000, Stuart, been part of a great evening, scored a decent goal, is it difficult to sort of come back down, as it were, to reserve level, so to speak?
Not when you've played well for the first team. I remember playing, I think, my first 8 games, played for the first team straight off. And then there was a lot of the games that were snowed off over Christmas. Came back and played in the reserves at a non-league ground. That was fairly tough. There's Kevin McDonald, midfield player that used to play with Liverpool, Coventry and Leicester.
Actually won the double as a Liverpool player in '86. And then he was also assistant boss to Steve Staunton at the Republic of Ireland. So he's been around the block as Kevin. Flipped on by Lansbury. Straight to Albrighton though. Delfonso. And only had to come, and in the end did very, very well.
Arsenal's back four have just been caught a little bit flat on a couple of occasions. They were for the goal. There, another through ball. Jay Thomas had started to come out into midfield and only did well.
Hurd, he's lost it. Well played, Wilshere. Dangerous for defenders when he runs at them like that, but he got the pass all wrong. He expected Randall to make a different type of run.
Not quite sure why Randall stopped his run there. It was obvious that Wilshere had time on the ball, was penetrating forward. Going back to that, it is hard. It'll only be hard for Wilshere and Randall today because they played so well and they'd be on a high. So maybe you've been dropped from the first team and you come back to the reserves. That's when it's tough. Not that I'd have known about that, Trevor.
You never play badly.
I was never dropped.
Randall. It's well played by Frimpong. He was almost second favourite to get to that. Randall again. Trying to feed Wilshere every possible opportunity.
Oh, that's a bad challenge there.
Just a tad late, wasn't he, on Gardner?
Yeah, just as he closes the ball down. Yeah, that's a bad challenge from Wilshere. A little bit of frustration, I think, there. Didn't get the first ball.
Randall. Just had to ride the challenge from Bannon. It's back with Frimpong though for Arsenal. Lansbury looking for Simpson. Decent defending from Sam Simmons.
That's where Simpson's at his best, when he's making those little diagonal runs for straight balls. So much pace and power. Simmons did well just to read it. Banfield will be a little bit disappointed with his team's defending so far. Only 9 minutes gone. It's a bit vulnerable at the back.
Whacked away by Manone. And that'll be a foul by Jake Simpson, just leaning into his marker. Sam Simmons. Villa's triumph in the Reserve League last season, their first in their history. We played Liverpool in the national playoff, play against the team that wins the Reserve North Division. And they were thumped 3-0 actually by Liverpool. Simpson beaten in the air that time by Clark. Randall. Made Hoyt work for that.
Aston Villa are pressing quite high up the field. Doing well at the moment, Aston Villa.
That's a useful ball. No offside against Albrighton, who might be in for his second. Easy as you like. Arsenal caught flat again. It's 2-0. We've only played 11.5 minutes.
Well, what a pass this was in behind Tom Cruise. It's Wiseman that plays the ball. Wiseman that plays the ball right in behind Tom Cruise. He's not offside. Bartley is just deeper of him, but what a finish that is from Albrighton. The outside of the right foot. Good precision. Arsenal are up against it now.
It's almost too simple, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a wonderful pass from Weimann, though. Really inch perfect. Good understanding. Good run from Albrighton. And the composure at the end of it.
So Albrighton's on a hat-trick, and Arsenal are in real trouble. Laid off by Randall. Frimpong. Now Lansbury. On by Rui Fonte. Good work from Hoyt. And it was deflected behind. It'll give Arsenal their first corner of the game.
That was good from Hoyt. Had a very good game against Sheffield United. We've mainly seen him as a centre-half, but Arsene Wenger, like he's done with many players, just swapping people around, having a look at them in a different position.
Can Arsenal make use of the corner? Well, they got the first flick from Simpson, and just too high for Fonte to do anything about it. It will be a corner the other side.
I think that's good defending by Albrighton at the far post. Simpson wins the first one. Comes off the line, Albrighton just flicks it away.
So Randall will take from this side. It'll be the in-swinger. Really get enough elevation on it. Wilshere. A challenge by Zoltensteiber. If things had worked out differently, he might have been playing with a red shirt on tonight. He was signed by Arsenal at 17, and then the deal fell through. He had a trial at United, ended up at Villa Park.
Playing central midfield. We thought he might be on the right-hand side, but he's playing centrally.
Good closing down from Delfonso there.
That's what we're talking about. Aston Villa really closing the ball down quickly, not giving Arsenal time to build up their attacks. Every time the ball's gone to Bartley, he's either had to go back to the keeper or rush his clearance.
Albrighton's after this again, he won't get to it. And he's done a lot of damage in the opening quarter of an hour or so, Mark Albrighton.
I think Paul Davis was alluding to it beforehand. Aston Villa have always had a good academy. They've produced some good players. They get the best of the players in the Midlands, then coach, and they produce them quickly.
Well, Arsenal there gave the ball away again, and now they've given away a free kick. As Delfonso brought down by Bartley right on the edge of the area. But again, it was a case of gifting Villa possession.
Well, it was a rash clearance. Went to Delfonso. And he just lifts the ball over Bartley. Bartley's lucky that he hasn't got too much more than a book. Well, I don't think he even gets booked for that. Had it been a Premier League game, he'd have probably been off. Last defender.
Well, here's more danger for Arsenal. Steiber over the ball. Has got a terrific left foot. Next to him, Barry Bannon also looking interested in this. I think Steiber will be favourite though. It is Zoltensteiber, and it got that all wrong after the big build-up. It wasn't such a great left foot.
No, just too... Well, I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do, really. There's no way he's going to be able to get that over the wall and back down again. There wasn't enough space in behind the wall.
It's a good thing they got that netting up, otherwise someone watching TV would have had a football through their living room window. Randall's header on by Albrighton. Gardner just asking his teammate a bit too much, as he know he's got there. Hoyt kept him out by snaking a leg, making contact with the ball.
Good play from Hoyt. Stood up, didn't dive in. Saw the chance to nick the ball away.
Away by Bartley, headed on by Lansbury. Herb was beaten by the bounce there, but then he was fouled by Lansbury. Free kick.
Lansbury had a really good game for the England under-19s against Holland. Haven't seen too much of him in the reserves.
Another free kick for Villa. Alfonso starting to get involved. Frimpong that time the offender. Just clumsy more than anything else.
Good shielding on the ball by Delfonso.
Steiber runs over it. Gardner went short. Well, it was clearly a rehearsed routine. He got the first bit right, but not the second.
That was a poor layoff. I think actually Arsenal had read it as well. It's a very old free kick. Didn't do it particularly well. Alfonso, very powerful, very quick. On that occasion, didn't quite have the touch.
Arsenal ball. They need some inspiration from somewhere at the moment, the Gunners. Frimpong.
Look at the pressure again from Aston Villa.
Lansbury. And the pressure has worked again. Arsenal dispossessed. Cruz manages to win it back. Neat little layoff for Lansbury. Little chip for Simpson. It's a very difficult ball to play. Almost got it right. On by Veyman. Delfonso's quick. Manone had to come out and clear. Well, Villa really settling into this now. Randall couldn't get there. Albrighton again. Deep to the far post. There were two waiting in there. Might come for Delfonso. Good header away by Thomas. And in the end, the shot was scuffed wide.
But really excellent play from Aston Villa. Winning the ball back quickly, switching the play, getting crosses in the box, winning the first ball. And it came out to Gardner. Just a lack of technique on that occasion. But I think this is a good test for Arsenal's youngsters, because Aston Villa, unlike many sides, are trying to press them high up the field. They're going to make Arsenal have to work to play around that pressure. Too many sides drop our Arsenal and allow them to play.
Delfonso for Villa, looking threatening again. A decent challenge that from Thomas. Still got the cross in, and although the header came in from Veyman, there was a flag up anyway, it wouldn't have counted.
Just runs it. Thomas gets a good challenge in. That's the left back coming forward. Hurd. As you quite rightly said, Veyman just in an offside position.
Came from Rapid Vienna, Andreas Veyman. Still just 17. It's only his 6th reserve appearance this evening. Very young Villa side, as I said earlier, all teenagers. And lots of 17 and 18-year-olds too. Simpson. Faced up by Clark.
Yeah, the assistant referee's right. It came off Simpson last. I think Arsenal may just have to, for the next 10-15 minutes, play a little bit longer, play beyond the pressure that Aston Villa are trying to put on them. You can't press high up the field and be strong at the back, so that's what Arsenal must have to do for the next 10-15 minutes, force Aston Villa to defend slightly deeper, and then they'll get the room to play in midfield.
Long from Lichai. Cruz with a decent challenge. And then picks out Lansbury. Rui Fonte. Cruz again. Well, certainly no foul on Albrighton, and Cruz can help Arsenal go forward. Rui Fonte. Wilshere. And let's switch it across to the other flank here, where Frimpong knew Hoyt was waiting. Lansbury.
So they're pressing so well. All that Arsenal can do in the end is go back to the goalkeeper. And then Manone kicks it forward with probably not as much accuracy as Jay Thomas could have done it. Really good defending from Aston Villa.
Frustrating evening so far for Jay Simpson up front, but the night is still young. Knocked away by Thomas. Lansbury trying to get Simpson involved again. Whistle's gone again.
Well, I think he was going to play advantage because it was offside. He's given the free kick for the challenge. I think it was Lansbury.
Thomas. Lansbury. Away by Bartley. Too high for Jack Wilshere. I don't think heading is his main attribute. He wants it to feet. Rui Fonte. Wilshere muscled out of it there by Lichai. Clayman.
Just at the moment, Aston Villa looks sharper mentally and physically.
Him off Simpson. Knocked away by Clark. See if Villa continue to press Arsenal here. Here we go. Clayman obviously under orders. Made life difficult for the centre half. Wilshere was clearly fouled.
He did well there, Wilshere. Just shrugs off the first a little nutmeg as his shirt pulled, but he still has to work hard to beat those players.
Ball just played in behind Lansbury. This is Cruz.
Where's the ball going to go back to?
I think Jay Thomas just lost his concentration there, didn't he? Under his boot, the ball went. Bartley. Hoyt. Under so much pressure there, Jay Simpson, as all he could do was to try and find a header back to a teammate. Didn't have the time to guide it to a colleague. That will be a foul on Frimpong, though. Illegal challenge by Stuyber.
Stuyber chasing back. Got beaten a little bit easily by Frimpong. Made a mistake, Stuyber. Frimpong showing his power and pace. Stuyber just brings him down.
Take that as a final warning from Paul Mellin. Next time it'll be a card. Ball's nowhere near 10 yards. Well, it's a long, long way out. Wilshere over it. Just a little chip into the middle and get enough height on it. Wilshere again. There's the up and under. One by Simpson. Didn't get it on target. What a pity. Half an opening from Arsenal. Would have been scrappy, but at the moment, they'll take anything they can get.
Oh, Wilshere just plays the ball back into the box aerially. Bartley's still up there, wins the first challenge. Simpson on the volley. I think that would have been on his right foot, would have scored. Just gets it on the shin almost. Good anticipation from him. That's why he scored so many goals for Millwall.
He won the League One Player of the Year award this time at Millwall on loan. Very successful spell in South London. Ball from Stuyber easily picked off, but Villa have it back. That might have just been deflected. Cruz had to play it and did well.
Again, under pressure from Albrighton. Must be a pacey player, the right winger for Aston Villa.
Rui Fonte couldn't take it in. Gardner. Not wide by Stuyber. Bannon. Not a bad ball. Albrighton might keep it in and has. Just got too much on it. But Arsenal under pressure again. Boyd has to hook it away.
Well, Tom Cruz is getting very narrow when those balls are hit diagonally into the box. He has to come across to try and defend against the centre forward who's just pulled onto him. It leaves 2v1 against him. There'll be a little bit more communication between him and the centre half.
Decent head of that from Thomas. Stuyber's shot into a wall of red shirts, and Frimpong with the acrobatics. Maybe a break on for Arsenal. Rui Fonte. See how quick Villa were to get back and get goal side and force him back towards his own goal. Lansbury's ball for Rui Fonte. Simpson. Swamped by blue shirts. I don't think Elliot Parish in the Villa goal has had anything to do thus far, and we've played nearly half an hour.
I like that big diagonal Aston Villa at the moment, trying to get Albrighton in. Here's Parish.
Yeah, he's very inexperienced. He's only making his 4th reserve appearance tonight in his career, 18 years of age. He's a youth international. Biggest problem at the moment would be getting a bit chilly, I guess. Lansbury trying to get Simpson away. 3 defenders to take on. They've got a man spare. It's Wilshere. He's miscued it. What a pity, because they worked the opening really cleverly, Arsenal.
Yeah, good ball from Lansbury. Nice, powerful run from Jay Simpson. He waits his pass beautifully. And I think that's why Wilshere is all left foot on the right-hand side. He's had a go with it.
Arsenal corner. Again, didn't beat the first defender, and they'll have to settle for a throw.
Gardner at the near post, getting a good clearance in.
Randall. Cruz. That was a little sloppy. Given away to Albright. We know he's a dangerous customer. He's got Vayman waiting in the middle. In fact, 2 of them there. Well, it's 3-0. Easy as you like. Aston Villa there with a lightning counter-attack. From the moment Cruz gave it away, the Gunners were in trouble.
What play this was.
Stuyber scores.
What play this was from Albright, and pace, power. I thought he could just played it here to the number 10, Vayman, but he goes for the more extravagant pass to the far post. Great weight on it. And a really good finish by Stuyber.
Don't think we were expecting this scoreline. 3-0 Villa inside half an hour. Manone may well shake his head. He was left completely exposed.
Well, in any game of football, you have to earn the right to play. And that's what Aston Villa have done. They've pressurised quickly, they've got the ball forward quickly, they've got players around the knockdowns, and then they've had the skill from those areas. I think Arsenal thought they were going to be able to pass it around at the back and build up attacks. They haven't been able to. Aston Villa have played brilliantly.
Arsenal corner, which Wilshere will take. Maybe this will be a test for Elliot Parish. It's a better corner. Frimpong went in there. Couple of ricochets, and that was nearly one back for Arsenal.
Yeah, good delivery. Frimpong wins the first one. It comes off a Villa player, I think. Yeah, it does come off Delfonso. Good attacking of it from Frimpong.
Randall with the corner. Goalkeeper rather flapped at that. Wilshere's volley. And Villa might be able to break again here. So many blue shirts getting forward quickly. Stuyber. It's a great ball, but this time Delfonso is offside, much to Arsenal's relief.
He actually miscued that one, Stuyber. He was aiming for the far ball, right on the far side, the big diagonal. He just scuffed it, but it almost went perfectly into the path of the centre forward. Kevin McDonald will be very pleased with his team. He's taken teams up against him many times. Very good coach, good character as well, Kevin McDonald.
Problems for Neil Banfield, big problems. Rui Fonte on the chase, he won't get that. Cover from Kieran Clark. Turned 19 last Friday. Frimpong tried to go through a non-existent gap. Villa shut the door on him, and that'll be a little nudge by Randall. Rui Fonte has finally won the ball back for Arsenal. Simpson waiting, Lansbury this side as well. Still Rui Fonte. Well, I think he was looking for a penalty and he wasn't going to get it.
No, he wasn't going to get it there. Lost his way, had an overlapping run, he could have played it square.
Well, Manone in trouble here. Can Vayman turn it in? No. every time they go forward, it seems, Arsenal are in trouble.
Yes. Just showing that Jay Thomas may lack a little bit of pace at the moment. Still growing into his body. Very tall player. Veyman just beat him there. Good job, Manoni didn't catch him.
Handshake between Rui Fonte and Clark. All Brighton. Easy header away for Bartley. Wilshere. Richard got his body back between Wilshere and the ball, and he's won a throw for Villa. Nodded on towards Veyman, away by Cruz. Rui Fonte, Simpson. Chance to really run at Aston Villa, maybe. Still going, Jay Simpson. It would have taken something quite special to have scored from that range, going away from goal. Clearly felt he didn't have enough support.
Well, when you're chasing the game, you can see that he had that bit between his teeth. He wanted to do everything at 100 miles an hour. He's a powerful and quick player. He did the right thing, he just didn't quite connect with the shot. He's been the one player really for Arsenal so far that's lived up to his billing almost.
Certainly can't accuse Simpson of buckling in terms of work rate. That's a bit short. Cruz, though, couldn't get there, but it will be an Arsenal ball. If they're going to get back into this, you sense they need to go back before the break. 10 minutes to go until half-time. Forward by Randall. Rui Fonte. Simpson second favourite to get that, but good pressure. Has won Arsenal a corner.
But again, Clark saw the danger. Good little ball around the corner. Simpson after it. Clark showed he's got a bit of strength as well.
Randall to deliver. Corners have not been great so far. Again, 3 or 4 players waiting around the penalty spot. Never looked like reaching them. Simpson couldn't get enough on it. Rui Fonte tried to win it back. Simpson now. Wilshere will retrieve. Just ran into trouble. And then fouled Barry Bannon.
Just showing his frustration at the moment, Wilshere. There's 2 or 3 challenges committed, giving away free kicks.
Away by Frimpong. Right, Mitchell Brighton again. He's on a hat-trick. Wasn't that far away from getting it. It really sat up invitingly. He caught it well, just a bit too high.
But again, Tom Cruise had to go narrow because Jace Thomas had gone right across the park, and they've got that out ball by hitting that big diagonal. All Brighton pace. Good trickery as well. Good technique on the volley.
Whistle's gone this time in Arsenal's favour.
Of course, Aston Villa will have something to prove tonight. You know, they've seen Arsenal's young players, or 3 or 4 of them play against Sheffield United. All the talk this last week has been how Arsenal have developed their players brilliantly. And Aston Villa wanted to say something to about that, how good they are as well.
Simpson jumping again, losing out to Clark in the air. Lansbury didn't give Wilshere much chance. Neat play from Wilshere, but again Lansbury not quite on the same wavelength as Jake Simpson. They were very free scoring in their championship season, Aston Villa's reserves. 38 goals, more than any side in either the South or the North Division. They put 6 past Derby, 6 past Chelsea last season. Simpson, Frimpong on the charge. Good advantage played by the referee. Randall. This is nearly a bit of classic Arsenal play on the edge of the box there. The ball didn't quite get through. Thomas, Lansbury. No room for Simpson to turn. And look at this, there's no flag here against Veyman. Frimpong is struggling to get back. Andreas Veyman into Delfonso, who was maybe a bit too unselfish. Frimpong only got the job half done. It was made easy in the end for Lansbury. Game starting to open up. Jack Wilshere. Rui Fonte. Wilshere again. Lansbury just let it run for Randall, who wasn't expecting it. Frimpong. Still no way through for the Gunners. Villa standing firm. 6 minutes or so to go until half-time. A 3-0 deficit. Can't remember the last time any Arsenal side were 3 down at half-time at home. All away come to that.
Given offside there. Lansbury, and the ball was played forward. What a great test this is now for these Arsenal youngsters. As you quite rightly said, not used to being 3-0 down at half-time. How do they respond? It's another lesson. Neil Banfield, coaching staff, will be looking at how players respond to this sort of scoreline. Not had things their own way. How are they going to change things? How are they going to turn things around? Posed a different problem by Aston Villa today. They've really pressed Arsenal high up the field. Not many teams do that.
Foul by Delfonso on Frimpong. Be one of his more demanding half-time team talks, won't it?
I don't think he'll be talking to Chris Harris at half-time, will he?
No. And again, it was Bartley that time who was caught in possession. Arsenal nearly caught short at the back. Nice skill from Hurd. The worst ball either. Bannon. Delfonso. It's a neat turn. It's a very good save, and Cruz just gets to the rebound before Albrighton.
That was brilliant football from Aston Villa. They won the ball back. I think it was the right back who hit the big crossfield ball. Great turn from Delfonso. Well, he makes the save. That was really good disguise in the turn. It looks as though he's going to let it roll across the front of his body, then just use the outside of his foot to turn away. Showed he's got a left foot as well.
Bannon with the corner. Unorthodox but effective from Manone. Bannon will get another go. Should be the keepers that time.
Even the goalkeeper's getting pressed by Aston Villa at the moment.
Yep. They really have made life difficult for Arsenal. Wilshere. Cruz. Randall to Frimpong. That's a nice ball. Rui Fonte can pull one back for Arsenal. And off target. Might have just touched either the goalkeeper or defender there.
Best bit of football that Arsenal have played. It was penetrative, it was played at pace. Great ball from Frimpong. Rui Fonse actually holds off the challenge well from Lichai. I think the keeper makes a good save in the end. Yeah, good save from the keeper.
Randall with the corner. Better delivery. And it went a long, long way through and no one could find a touch. Wilshere a volley. Blocked on the edge of the box. Frimpong certainly got the power. A bit more like it from Arsenal.
I think Arsenal should have scored from the first corner that came in. Frimpong, second time in this match, he showed he's got shooting power. Quite impressed with Frimpong. I'm sure he's played better. You can see what he's got. You know, he's driving force in that central midfield. He works hard. He puts his foot in. He's a good passer. He laid that ball on for Rui Fonse that went through. So he's a good all-round player.
Randall looking for Simpson again. He's been a willing runner without too much service. Alfonso's pass charged down by Bartley. Randall. Nice ball for Lansbury. Frimpong. Wilshere. Boyd joining the attack. Back to Frimpong again. Last minute of the first half. Can Arsenal find a way through? Simpson. Again, Simmons has been very, very tight to him. Simmons and Clark not giving him much room. Alfonso. Trying to get Veyman in, and that'll be a free kick to Villa, and it may well be a caution as well.
Bartley claims he got a bit of the ball. I think he did. He's been beaten on the halfway line by Delfonso. He was chasing back, clashed with Veyman. Again, Delfonso showing him what a good forward he is. Hasn't had the best of evenings so far, Bartley.
First booking of the game as we move into first half stoppage time. Arsenal can't afford to concede a fourth. That would be game over. Just a minute to add. Bannon. I just saw that Manone had crept off his line a couple of yards.
I think Bartley might have been a bit unfortunate here. Oh, I think he actually falls over Bartley. Watch, he trips over himself. Whoops, and there he goes. It's unfortunate to get booked. There's no malice in that challenge. Just a bit clumsy.
Bartley. Again, Wilshere's not going to have too much joy trying to win balls in the air like that. Bartley last man back. Easy for Manone. Randall. Simpson. Rui Fonse. Well, they let him turn. He might have hit it then. Simpson again. Driven across, and I'm not sure there'll be time for the corner.
I thought Simpson was going to strike it himself when he got through. So good strength to hold off the challenge. Then I thought he was going to hit it with his right foot with power. Instead tried to bring it back for Rui Fonse. And it sort of petered out, didn't it?
Well, the referee's allowing Arsenal the corner. And towards Bartley. And Arsenal have a real job on their hands here. They were caught cold by 2 goals from Albrighton inside the first 12 minutes. Villa were then 3 up before half-time when Stiver scored. And it's a long, long way back for Neil Banfield and his boys. Rui Fonse had a couple of half chances, but Arsenal very much second best in that first half. Half-time then at Underhill. It's Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 3.
Well, half-time, and Aston Villa have certainly got the upper hand at half-time. 3-0 is the scoreline against the Arsenal young Gunners. Paul Davis is here with me to cast our eye back on the action that came from that first 45. Paul, that was a very different game to the last one that these young guys played, not just against Portsmouth, but of course in the Carling Cup against Sheffield United. Is it a hangover from the Carling Cup?
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it? The first, 15 minutes or so, it looks as though none of our players are out there. And Aston Villa, to be fair, they came at us all guns blazing, and they got the goals. And it's going to be an uphill struggle. It's been an uphill struggle for our lads to even get a few passes together. And Stuart mentions in commentary there that what Villa are doing, they're just pressing us so high up the pitch. We're not allowed to play. There's no time on the ball. But I think there was a 10-15 minute period there where a few of our lads, I don't think Neil Banfield will be happy with the start of some of our lads have made there.
OK, well, let's just cast our minds back to some of the action from that first half then, of which there were 3 goals, so pay attention. Let's look at the first one then, which was Albrighton.
Yeah.
Albrighton opening was scoring on 3 minutes. This got the game off to the wrong start for Arsenal, didn't it?
Exactly, just as we're saying, right at the start of the game, some sloppy challenges going in there, people not on the ball, not ready to make snappy challenges. And they've got in and he's taken his goal. You know, goalkeepers don't like to be beaten at the near post either. There's challenges there, got to win those, and he's found himself just in on goal, and it's a firm strike. And after 3 minutes, you don't want to be going a goal down. You want things to be nice and solid, and just playing from a nice platform. And
the defence looked a little bit static, didn't they?
Yeah, it was just a slow start all the way around the team for the first
this
15.
This is Frimpong here.
Frimpong's had a shot. You know, it's not troubled the goalkeeper too much. But we haven't really played anything like what we can play, and I'm sure Neil Banfield won't be pleased with the performance so far.
This was Manoni who had to come out and save the day. The defence looking again slightly at 6s and 7s. Yeah,
we look slow, we look a little bit sluggish at the back. They're closing us down when we're on the ball. You know, people out positions, and this is a good ball inside our left back, and he's really taken this well.
It's much the same as Albrighton's second goal there. Much the same as the first, really. Yeah,
great ball inside, but our positional play at the back is not as good as it should be for our standard. I think Neil will be, telling the boys about this, telling them about the standards that they've set, and he'll be wanting more from them because it's the standard where they're at. This is where they're at. They're at a big club, and they're expected to produce more often than not. That was a kind of half chance. It was good defending, I thought, because the defender got his block in.
I say Wilshere did well. I think was that Wilshere there? I think did well with that little volley.
Actually, Jay, the defender didn't actually put a block in. Just Jay completely miskicked his effort. But there's been 1 or 2 half moves that we've got in. This is another opportunity. Really expecting Jack Wilshere to get a good shot off there. Again, it's on his weaker side, his right foot, but even so, you're expecting a shot on target from Jack there. And there's again, they're closing us down, they're challenging him, they're diving in. He's picked a fantastic ball out all right there, and it's still a good finish. He's still having a lot to do with his left foot.
That's Albrighton again, though. He scored 2, he set 1 up. He's doing well for the opposition tonight.
He's cleared off the line. We saw earlier on there was a corner kick. He's cleared off the line.
He's defending, he's attacking.
He's had a really good game down this. And what they've done, they've asked us questions all the time. They've hit diagonal balls into our sort of defensive fullback positions, and our defenders are being asked a lot of questions, and we're not being allowed to settle on the ball at all. As I say, Stuart mentioned it in commentary. Anytime our players are on the ball, they're really tight on us, they're really stopping us from playing, and our players are finding it tough going at the moment. There's the diagonal ball we're talking about. Our fullback has to go out there to try and close it down, then they come inside and opportunities arise. And they've obviously planned it, they've worked on it, Aston Villa, and it's paying dividends for them at the moment.
Alfonso with a bit of foresight, a nice little back heel here, but really all we're doing is talking up the opposition, which is not what we want to be doing tonight. Is it the defence predominantly?
This is a good move. We've got in here. We've had a couple of hard chances to get in and maybe nick a goal and get ourselves back in it.
Quintus gutted at that, isn't he?
He is, and he thought he was going to shoot Hurley there, but he didn't. He's got a shot in, but the goalkeeper, Parrish, has come out and spread himself. We've had a couple of half chances, and you know, we really need to take one of those to give ourselves a chance. But still, they've got 3 goals in the first half. There's no reason why we can't. But the thing is, they've really, really worked hard. Can they work as hard as this in the second half? And can we get our game going and maybe score some goals?
I suppose at times like this, when the guys get in at half-time, it's a test of their character, I guess, as to how they come back from being 3 goals down at half-time.
Absolutely. They won't be happy. The players won't be happy with how they perform. I'm certain the manager won't be happy, and he'd be telling the boys in there, and they'd be disappointed with the way they've played in this first half. And it's how about now, how they're going to turn it around, because you know, we've got a game on here, we have to turn it around, and we'll see what some of these guys, you know, their characters are made of.
Do you think we're going to see many changes? I mean, I was picking out the defence there. Is that an area that you think Neil Banfield's going to tinker with in the second half?
Well, I think Neil will say to those lads that have started the half, you know, you started us, and now we're in this situation, you know, let's see what you can do, if you can get us out of it. I don't see there's too much defensive players to come in from the substitute bench. We've got 4 players, but
even
you know,
just Hoyt and Bartley usually are the centre of defence. They're usually the pairing. They're the players that know each other. It's been tinkered with. Do you think they'll stick with it?
No, I think Neil will keep it just the same as it is. I don't believe he'll change it around. He won't be happy with what they've done, but he's going to say, I think he'll say to them, just look, you've got yourselves into this situation, see what you can do to get us out, and leave it for that for the moment.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Plenty more still to come, not least, of course, the second half of action. It's Arsenal versus Aston Villa coming up straight after this short break. It's not in Arsenal's favour against Aston Villa. Chris Harris is here to give us his half-time thoughts.
Thanks, Sally. Well, last time we saw some of these youngsters, they were 3-0 up against Sheffield United. Now they're 3-0 down, and it's pretty grim down here on the Arsenal bench. Neil Banfield and his team were pretty much lost for words when the first 2 goals went in. And what's bothering Neil Banfield is the fact that his team won't play football. They won't stick to their principles. They're not playing the ball quickly enough. So I think you'll see some changes in the second half. Maybe not straight away, but sometime in the second half. The likes of Luke Freeman and Reece Murphy have been warming up. They're both centre forwards, so maybe Neil will go for a broken throw on another centre forward. Back to you, Ali.
Chris Harris, thanks very much indeed. Well, he's at Underhill and expects that there will be, in fact, a couple of changes. We weren't sure whether there would be, but they're up front, not defensively.
Yeah, I think they were alluding to maybe changes as the game went on. I think Neil will keep it the same for the first part of the second half. But it is really difficult to play under those conditions. If Aston Villa are loading it down with you know, stopping us from playing from the back. Sometimes, as Stuart said in commentary, you have to go long to be able to play. And you can't fault Aston Villa for their efforts and their game plan. And it's definitely worked.
Yeah, it certainly has. What can be tactically different in the second half? As you said, there aren't all that many options on the bench tonight.
All I can think Neil will be saying to him is that your standards are better than this. You've got to be producing better football than this. Your passes have got to be getting there. You can't lose your challenges, your tackles, and some of those tackles weren't up to the mark that we're expecting at this level. You've got to win your challenges. You've got to be in the correct positions to make challenges. Those sort of things. And obviously the players are out on the pitch now. And when the players have been sent back out so early, you know the manager's not happy. Yeah,
exactly. Probably trying to avoid a half-time interview with us. You can't say you blame him at times like this, actually, can you? But we did touch on the Carling Cup and the fact that these guys have played in front of a big audience. They hammered Sheffield United 6-0. Most of these guys, obviously. Psychologically, how difficult is it for them to come back down and play at a reserve level? Do you think that comes into it?
I don't think it should do, really. I think it's a fantastic thing to have played at the Carling Cup level as these guys have done, but they realise that they've finished the article, they're nowhere near it, and they shouldn't be thinking that. And if they are, they're going to find out that they're on the wrong line of train of thought. You're going to get teams like Aston Villa who've seen their names now in the papers, seen the Arsenal names in the papers, are going to want to actually make their own names, and that's what these Aston Villa players are doing tonight. They're making names for themselves against our players.
OK, well, we saw 3 goals in the first half. Let's see what the second half brings over now to your commentary team.
Thank you, Ali. welcome back to Underhill. Let's hope we see some goals in the back of Aston Villa's net in their second period. There's the man who did much of the early damage, Mark Albrighton. Villa certainly made Arsenal wait. The Arsenal players were back fully 2 or 3 minutes before Villa emerged out the tunnel. And Bayman needs someone to help kick off with. No changes as yet to either side. You heard Chris Harris saying 2 strikers on the bench, young Luke Freeman along with Rhys Murphy. Bannon has won the game's second half's first corner, has he? Despite Hoyt's best effort to keep the ball out.
Good kick-off from Aston Villa. Got themselves a corner straight away. Good run from Delfonso. Bannon would be out on the left wing.
Bannon to take then. Not gone very far. Albrighton! Tell you what, he's not afraid to shoot. Looks very composed. He knew he had about a second or so just to control that ball and fire. On the half volley, it's a decent effort.
It certainly was. I think he took his first touch exactly where he wanted it, then adjusted his body, got the shot in.
Rui Fonte. Wilshere. Appeals for handball. Referee says, yeah. Arsenal free kick. Not sure, I have to say. Oh, yeah. Well, it hit him on the sort of hip and then it rebounded back onto his arm.
Yeah, Simmons just handballing it there. Now, can Arsenal get back into the game? Who are the players here? Randall maybe, Lansbury. Seeing Frimpong hit them with power. Wilshere can bend them. Looks as though Mark Randall's pulling rank and pushing a couple of the others away.
Yeah, the way he was quite deliberately taking that run up suggested as much. Still 4 over the ball though. It's a fair way out this to beat Elliot Parish. Or maybe it will be Frimpong. It is, and it wasn't really worth waiting for, unfortunately.
That was almost as poor as the one in the first half from Steiber, which went miles over the bar. The early shots we saw of him in the first half, I think he's more of a power man than a bender and a curler.
He's an England youth international now. He was born in Ghana, actually, but came over to this country at a fairly early age. Headed away by Hurd. Clark away. Touch from Gardner. Lansbury. Wilshere was brought down quite cynically, and that really should be a card.
It's Clark, I think, who's committed the foul. Wilshere just nicked the ball away from him. Captain Clark. Quite rightly gets booked for that one. What a dangerous challenge as well. I think he was beaten by the skill of Wilshere.
He's quick and elusive, isn't he, when he gets on a run, Jack Wilshere. Knew too much for Clark there. So 1 booking apiece now, both number 5s have been carded. No attempt whatsoever to play the ball. Almost John Terry like that. Arsenal's free kick taken quickly.
You're not trying to get me in trouble again, are you, Trevor?
Well, there were similarities, the way he grabbed at his waist, like the England captain did to Joe a few weeks back.
Yeah, but Clark can run.
That was Clark's header. Rui Fonte.
He's a star man in the first half from an Aston Villa point of view. Brighton, 2 goals, made the other, cleared one off the line. So he won a header at the far post, should I say.
He was non-stop energy, wasn't he, for the whole of the first half. A real thorn in Arsenal's side, and they've given it away again, the Gunners. Whacked forward by Bannon, too far forward. Frimpong under pressure, just about got the pass away. Lansbury, Wilshere, trying to thread it through for Rui Fonte.
Once Arsenal play beyond Aston Villa's midfield. That's when they give Aston Villa problems. All the time they play square and across the back line, it just encourages Aston Villa to squeeze up, press higher, press harder. So when the ball gets played behind them, they're not quite so good defensively.
Header away by Frimpong.
OK, well, we saw 3 goals in the first half. Let's see what the second half brings over now to your commentary team.
Thank you, Ali. Welcome back to Underhill. Let's hope we see some goals in the back of Aston Villa's net in the second period. There's the man who did much of the early damage, Mark Albrighton. Villa certainly made Arsenal wait. The Arsenal players were back fully 2 or 3 minutes before Villa emerged out the tunnel. And Bayman needs someone to help kick off with. No changes as yet to either side. You heard Chris Harris saying 2 strikers on the bench, young Luke Freeman along with Rhys Murphy. Bannon has won the game's second half's first corner, has he? Despite Hoyt's best effort to keep the ball out.
Good kick-off from Aston Villa. Get themselves a corner straight away. Good run from Delfonso. Bannon would be out on the left wing.
Bannon to take then. Not gone very far. Albrighton! Tell you what, he's not afraid to shoot. Looks very composed. He knew he had about a second or so just to control that ball and fire. On the half volley, it's a decent effort.
Certainly was. I don't think he took his first touch exactly where he wanted it. Then adjusted his body, got the shot in.
Rui Fonte. Wilshere. Appeals for handball. Referee says, yeah. Arsenal free kick. Not sure, I have to say. Oh,
yeah.
Well, it hit him on the sort of hip and then it rebounded back onto his arm.
Yeah, Simmons just handballing it there. Now, can Arsenal get back into the game? All the players here. Randall maybe, Lansbury. Seen Frimpong hit them with power. Wilshere can bend them. Looks as though Mark Randall's pulling rank and pushing a couple of the others away.
Yeah, the way he was quite deliberately taking that run up suggested as much. Still 4 over the ball though. It's a fair way out this to beat Elliot Parish. Or maybe it'll be Frimpong. It is. And it wasn't really worth waiting for, unfortunately.
That was almost as poor as the one in the first half from Steiber, which went miles over the bar. The early shots we saw of him in the first half, I think he's more of a power man than a bender and a curler.
He's an England youth international now. He was born in Ghana, actually. But, came over to this country at a fairly early age. Headed away by Hurd. Clark away. Touch from Gardner. Lansbury. Wilshere was brought down quite cynically, and that really should be a card.
It's Clark, I think, who's committed the foul. Wilshere just nicked the ball away from him. Captain Clark. Quite rightly gets booked for that one. What a dangerous challenge as well. I think he was beaten by the skill of Wilshere.
He's quick and elusive, isn't he, when he gets on a run, Jack Wilshere. Knew too much for Clark there. So 1 booking apiece now. Both number 5s have been carded. No attempt whatsoever to play the ball. It's almost John Terry like that. Arsenal's free kick taken quickly.
You're not trying to get me in trouble again, are you, Trevor?
Well, there were similarities, the way he grabbed at his waist, like the England captain did to Joe a few weeks back.
Yeah, but Clark can run.
That was Clark's header. Rui Fonte.
The star man in the first half from an Aston Villa point of view. Brighton, 2 goals, made the other, cleared one off the line. Sorry, one header at the far post, should I say.
He was non-stop energy, wasn't he, for the whole of the first half? A real thorn in Arsenal's side, and they've given it away again, the Gunners. Whacked forward by Bannon, too far forward. Frimpong under pressure, just about got the pass away. Lansbury, Wilshere, trying to thread it through for Rui Fonte.
Once Arsenal play beyond Aston Villa's midfield, that's when they give Aston Villa problems. All the time they play square and across the back line, it just encourages Aston Villa to squeeze up, press higher, press harder. So when the ball gets played behind them, they're not quite so good defensively.
Header away by Frimpong. Randall, neatly done. Simpson never going to go on the end of that though. So far, second half following a fairly similar pattern to the first. Arsenal being pressed back every time they get the ball. Life being made very difficult for them. Bartley. Randall, straight away, Bannon was keeping tabs on him. Inviting Hoyt to run onto that. Didn't give him too much chance. Bannon again. Laid off by Veyman. Bartley's interception. Wilshere got away from Steiber. Lansbury. Randall's done well there. Knocked it back to Hoyt. Lansbury again. He's got too much on the pass. Might be able to cross it though, Simpson. More promising from Arsenal.
Yeah, good ball on the side of Simpson. That's what he does well. Just running into those spaces. Gets the cut back in. Rui Fonte just can't get there before the defender. But you just sense Arsenal are playing at a higher tempo in this second half. They had to.
Frimpong. Wilshere. Just a little nudge. Referee was literally no more than a couple of yards away.
Much of the discuss of Kevin McDonald, you can just hear him in the background.
Rui Fonte. And again, it was an ambitious one too. He tried to play with Simpson. Hoyt. You know he's quick. And that's a useful delivery, and Arsenal will take the corner, headed away by Albrighton.
Yeah, he certainly had no option other to head it out. Not let it run across your body. Somebody in behind him took the safe option.
Randall to take. Better delivery. It was in towards Kyle Bartley. Cleared by Bannon. Wilshere ran into trouble, and here's Albrighton with a chance of a break. Whistle's gone.
I'm not quite sure what the referee's given on this occasion. Surely can't be a free kick to Aston Villa.
Well, if it is, that was a very good break for Arsenal, because he really should have played the advantage rule there.
I think there's a slight injury to one of the players, Aston Villa players, in the goalmouth. When this corner came in, it's a great near post corner from I think it's Randall. It's the number 4.
Chris Hurd, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, just at the near post. There's a big collision. He defended it very well in the end.
Scored the winner against Tottenham in Villa's last reserve game. Chris Hurd signed a new 2-year deal in the summer. He's still just 19.
Yeah, he heads it excellently. It's all over the back of Lansbury, that is.
I think he'll be okay. Cruz's header away. Albrighton running at Cruz again. And Cruz did well there, and I think he's got himself a goal kick as well. Last touch was off the man.
It shows he's got pace, Albrighton. He beats Cruz here for pace, but Cruz gets back. It's a good slide challenge in with a block outside of the right foot. Good defending. He's a real handful, Albrighton, isn't he? Has he played any first-team games?
Nope. Simpson.
I'm just testing you, really.
Wilshere. Just hit the heels of Simpson, I think. Hoyt. Frimpong.
Yeah, that's better pressure. Mark Randall getting in quickly. I think the game's now being played in Aston Villa's half a little bit more.
Delfonso, who is actually the only Villa player on the pitch at the moment, Stuart, with first-team experience. He played in the UEFA Cup. That's a nice header. Nearly looped over the top of Manone.
Yeah, really good header. But what a pass that was. Bannon on the left-hand side. Just whipped it in behind Arsenal's back four.
Lansbury. And again, worth a dig. Back for Wilshere. Awkward bounce for Rui Fonte once he'd let the ball drop. Wilshere. Simpson's done well. Rui Fonte trying to get round the back for Arsenal. Lansbury in the middle. This is Wilshere. First touch was just a bit heavy. Randall to curl one. Super goal. That really is a quality finish from Mark Randall, and Arsenal have a glimmer.
Yeah, good finish. Wilshere is now getting involved more in the centre of midfield. Arsenal are pressing the ball better. They're playing the game in Aston Villa's half. Rui Fonte just finds the ball. It's a poor touch from Wilshere, but this is the bit of skill, good composure, good vision. And you've still got to deliver the accuracy, and he does that to perfection. Goalkeeper Parrish, no chance. This is the start of a comeback.
It really was a composed effort from Randall. He knew exactly what he was doing. Still a teenager. He turned 19 yesterday, actually. Scored against Chelsea in the first reserve team game of the season. Now he's got another one. And here he is again. Trying to get Jay Simpson in. Still Simpson. Can he pull it back? Only into the arms of Parrish.
What Arsenal are doing now, they're playing in between Aston Villa's players. They're now passing the ball forward. They're now running forward, rather than what they were doing in the first half, which was playing square, playing backwards, which gave Aston Villa a chance to press the ball. And it's creating chances like this.
Frimpong. Randall. To turn away from Bannon's challenge. Towards Simpson. He's got the better of his man for once. And Simpson went for goal. It might come for Wilshere. It was a really awkward ball to turn in. It was a bouncing, bobbling ball from an angle. But Arsenal suddenly are swarming all over Aston Villa.
Playing at a high tempo. Defender just tries to win it in front of Simpson. Simpson does well, gets the shot in. Actually, the goalkeeper does well here, Parrish. He just stands up. Very hard for Wilshere to get this one on target. Again, Wilshere's playing through the middle now. Allowing the fullbacks to come a little bit higher up the field, Arsenal. Playing more of their players centrally. I think Wilshere's almost been given licence to roam where he thinks he can get the ball.
Well, for the last 5 or 10 minutes, it's looked a completely different game to the one we saw in the first half. Looks like there might be some changes imminent for Arsenal. Love to see young Luke Freeman. It's a striker who made his debut for Gillingham. He was just 15. Here's Veyman for Villa. Well dispossessed by Thomas. Charging run as well. Tried to slide it through for Wilshere, no joy. Lansbury. Wilshere. Thomas. What a bad effort.
Yeah, good from Thomas. He had the best of first halves, playing in an unaccustomed position, centre half. We've usually seen him in midfield. Here he just comes in field. Just drags his shot. Those just so easily go in the near post when the goalkeeper's expecting it to be bent into the far post.
Yeah, Villa throw.
Another thing you're going to say about Aston Villa, they can't have kept the same tempo going in this second half as they had in the first half with that pressing of the ball.
Here's Delfonso, who's dangerous, on target, and only got everything behind it.
Good link up between the two front players. Little flick on here. And Vyman just plays it back into his path. Good strike.
Meanwhile, at the other end, off target from Simpson, although the whistle may well have gone. Yeah, foul on the goalkeeper, wouldn't have counted.
Can't touch the goalkeepers, can you?
Unlike in your day when you could just bung them over the goal line with the ball in their hands, Stuart.
I think you're talking about the 1950s, Trevor.
I wondered how you'd take that. Free kick for Villa.
Paul Davis in the studio might know all about it.
Tom Finney's era, wasn't it? So my dad tells me. Rui Fonte. Wilshere. It's much better from Arsenal, better tempo. No one far post though. Oh, Hoyt has dispossessed Bannon. Needs some help. Gets it from Randall.
Oh, that's a bad challenge from Randall. I don't know why he's pointing it.
It's Gardner, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't catch him, but he tries to. Oh dear, well, less said about that challenge, the better from Randall.
Here come the changes. Rhys Murphy is on for Jack Wilshere. And we are going to get to see Luke Freeman, who's coming on for Rui Fonte. There's Murphy, who had such an injury-plagued season in the last campaign. And there's Freeman, just 16 now. He was still at school when he made his Gillingham debut. Arsenal paid big money for him, as far as you can for a 15-year-old. Much expected.
Not surprised to see Wilshere go off, not because he didn't play well, in terms of had a big week. He's still a very young player. Still got to remember he's only 16. That game against Sheffield United just needs to be brought down to earth probably a little bit. Needs to be rested at times.
I saw Wigan's game yesterday, Stuart, against Manchester City. They played very well. They deserved the victory, and I think it's going to be a really tough contest for Arsenal's youngsters, assuming that Arsene Wenger, as I'm sure he will pick a similar side to play Wigan in the next round.
Yeah, it will be tough. I think Wigan are a much better team this year. Zaki plays up front. Oh, he's a dangerous player.
Well, Andreas Weimann giving Arsenal some problems. He's won Villa a free kick just outside the box here. And he needs a bit of treatment as well, the big Austrian.
Yeah, nothing too much wrong with the challenge. Just gone for the ball. He may have just caught Weimann on the back of the head, or obviously has caught him on the back of the head, but you expect that when aerial challenges go in.
In this age of magic lotions and sprays, the old ice pack still reigns supreme, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe got more of a bang than we first thought. Andreas Weimann.
Then he clashed of heads. Hurts greatly, just knocks you out a bit. There's that silly rule. He's now got to go off the field before he comes back on again.
They really do have to change this this law, Stuart. It's just madness. I mean, imagine if he was their free kick specialist. He can't take the free kick because he's got to go off and come back on again. Arsenal need to keep their concentration levels here, because another goal for Villa would finish it. Bannon ran over it, and that is a fabulous hit. Really good goal. I said he had a decent left foot. He didn't show it in the first half, but Stuyber's got his second, and surely now killed off Arsenal.
What a strike this was. Bannon runs over the ball, Stuyber hits it with lots of pace, lots of bend, goes round the wall. When it goes over the wall, goes round the wall. And only may look at himself and think that travelled a long distance. Should he have got across a little bit quicker? Good finish from Stuyber.
So 2 for Stuyber now, 2 for Albrighton and 4 for Villa. And a word in Mark Randall's ear from the referee.
And I think you'll just see Aston Villa start to press the ball again. They were taken aback by the way Arsenal came out in the second half. Started playing through them, between them. And that's given them a bit more confidence again.
Bartley didn't take the free kick from where referee Paul Mellin wanted. It's a little bit petty. I don't think he moved it more than a couple of feet, and it's inside his own half, but there we are.
He throws it forward again.
Well, no pressure at all on Clark's header away. Bartley under real pressure from Veyman, who looked second favourite but got there first. It's a nice turn, and it was ended illegally. He was the meat in the sandwich there, and he is proving a real nuisance to Arsenal.
Well, he's got pace, he's got strength, he's obviously got a bit of trickery as well. He's run the front line really, really well.
Bartley and Cruz between them brought him down.
It's Jay Thomas who's being booked. So Kevin McDonald saying to Andy Vyman, fantastic bit of play.
So Bannon with the free kick then for Villa, midway through the second half. Whipped in, punched away by Manone. Didn't look particularly elegant, but he got decent distance on it. Back in from Stuyber. Thought about coming the keeper, then went back. It was a wise decision, I think. And then he has to make another decent save. Veyman caught that pretty well.
Stuyber hits a long diagonal. Arsenal outnumbered, look, 3v2 at the far post. He gets a little flick on. Vyman hits it well, Manone makes the save. So it's just given Aston Villa the momentum again, that goal.
Alfonso. Corner. So Stuyber to take. Really is good at dead ball deliveries, isn't he? Goalkeeper nowhere there. Arsenal got lucky. Murphy unable to run it out.
Look at the pressure again. Bannon that time. Now Arsenal got to throw a yard from their own corner flag. Well, right, 3 yards in the end.
Headed down by Gardner. Vyman, he deserves a goal. Appeals for handball. And the referee, I think, has penalised the Arsenal man.
Well, it's a great turn by Vyman in the first place. That was a clever bit of play. Look at that turn away from Frimpong. Hits it well.
Tell you what, that is mighty close to being a penalty.
Because he falls back here. Watch, he falls back. Oh, he lands in the box.
On the line, remember, is a penalty if it's right on the line. He's given it, what, yard maybe outside. Still a lot of danger here for Arsenal.
Stuyber's not on this one.
And he's letting Bannon have a go, I think. 7, and that's no exaggeration.
It's a great strike. Maloney would never have got there. I think Maloney thought he was going to go into the other corner. He just changed his angle of his foot at the last minute. They really have played well, Aston Villa. Yes, Arsenal haven't been at their best, certainly nowhere near their best. Look at the... I think they're just calling for a substitute.
Stiber. No room at all there for Luke Freeman.
Looks so young, doesn't he?
I was just about to say, looks like he should be tucked up.
Started on the left, since he's been on that left wing, been quite tightly marked.
Murphy. Hoyt. Hartley. Frimpong. Turned on by Freeman very well. This is Frimpong again, deflected. And Murphy get another one back.
We have to say that our players weren't on their game.